Hi, everybody. It's June 23rd, 2024, and I'm posting these videos as a journal of my recovery from the trauma of watching my brother, Paul Kierans, be killed by Burnaby General Hospital. His group home, L'Arche, L'Arche, terminated my visits with my brother after 64 years of our visiting at will, when I complained, and I started a court action against them for a fraudulent and forged power of attorney that they created, giving my 81-year-old nun sister. I have a sister who I've never lived with, who is a nun with the Sisters of St. Joseph of Sault Ste. Marie in 4,000 kilometers away in North Bay, Ontario. My little brother Paul, who has Down syndrome, and I never lived with her. But the group home, L'Arche, L'Arche, invited her to be his guardian on January 29th of 2021, so they could give him the COVID shot. I have another sister on Vancouver Island who is an anti-vaxxer. I found this all out about a year after it happened. And about 6 months after I started the court action, L'Arche ordered the nun to terminate my visits with my little brother. And he was isolated and confined to his group home. So he was locked up by L'Arche for 588 days, 10 hours and 15 minutes before he died. On April 15th, I got an email from my sister's Vancouver lawyer. She had 2 big law firms working around the clock for her. She's got more money than God. But I got an email from her Vancouver lawyer saying that that Paul had had a stroke and that I could arrange a visit with him through the lawyer. And so I raced to Burnaby General Hospital. And as soon as I saw Paul, he squeezed my hand. I said, "Paul, it's Kathleen." And he squeezed my hand. His eyes were closed, but he squeezed my hand when I said my name, and he didn't let go. And I was allowed a 10-minute visit. So the evil nun said that I could only have, even though he wasn't at L'Arche, she said I could only have 3 10-minute visits a week. She's the most evil person I've ever personally met. But anyways, so the first visit, I said my name. I said, "Paul, it's Kathleen," and he squeezed my hand. And then I was allowed again on April 19th. And I brought a big coffee table book with photos of movie stars that my neighbor had given me for Paul. And as soon as he saw the book, he sat up. And his right side was not as affected by the stroke as the left side. So he grabbed the book with his right hand and started turning the pages perfectly, one by one, looking at the pictures of the movie stars. It was the most, I was trained as a psychologist, but my expertise is not in the area of strokes or rehabilitation. But it appeared to me that he was recovering remarkably. And I made a little post here on Facebook about it. And then the following April 22nd, I went to court to try and reinstate my visits with him so that I could see him as much as I wanted to. And when I went to the Burnaby General Hospital, I was allowed in the Paul's room by the evil nun, and she said, "Kathleen, say goodbye to Paul, he's dying." And he looked dead already. His hand was limp. He didn't squeeze my hand. He looked like he had been sedated to death. And my sister wrote a big, long affidavit. So she spent part of the time that she could have been at Paul's bedside with her lawyer, writing an affidavit saying he didn't sit up and he didn't look at the book. But he looked like he had been killed. He was warm his hand was warm, but he was 100% unresponsive. So what I believe happened is my sister ordered the medical staff to withdraw all medical support for Paul. So his respirator was taken away. The respirator that he'd had in the previous visits. He had no catheter for urine, and he appeared to be drugged. And so I've been trying to retain a law firm to act for me since he died. He died according to the nun, on April 23rd at 10:15 a.m. And a law firm paralegal that I spoke with said it sounds like they did medical assistance in dying on him. So you may not know what's going on in Canada, but in 2015, Canada changed the law so that doctors could kill people if they asked to be killed. And they changed the law so that they can even kill disabled people. And Canada, the last time I checked, and I haven't looked for a long time because it's too depressing, Canada was paying doctors to kill about 20 vulnerable people a day, including veterans. So death is offered as an option for veterans if they're asking for too much support. And so what I believe my sister did was she ordered the doctor, and I've complained about this to the British Columbia coroner and to the College of Physicians and Surgeons. So my sister ordered, she was afraid, she's such an idiot. She's an evil idiot, not a good combination. She was afraid that I was going to try and get a sample of my brother's signature to prove that the document was a forgery. And so she needed him to be dead so he couldn't give an authentic sample of his signature, of which anyway. So that's my theory, is that she was afraid that Paul, I would ask Paul for an authentic sample of his signature, so he had to die. So she ordered the medical staff to withdraw all medical support, the normal medical support for Paul. Nothing invasive, but even the respirator, which is not invasive, a catheter. And he had no medical support. I believe that she also withdrew food and water. And then she ordered them. She lied and said that he was in pain. I saw him, he was in no pain. He was not suffering the slightest. And she ordered them to sedate him or administer painkillers. So he could, he was recovering, and he was happy to recover, and he wanted to recover from the stroke. Like the vast majority of stroke patients do recover. But she wasn't going to let that happen. So I'm just trying to bring this to your attention because you will never hear about this in mainstream media. This is the actual experience of me watching my little brother, the person that I'm closest to, that I love more than anything, be killed in front of my eyes. Be killed in front of my eyes. Anyways, that's my post for today. I'm just in the process of, I just got back from Mass. I went to a very beautiful Mass. The music was out of this world. And by the way, Catholics, I've complained to the Archdiocese of Vancouver about my sister killing my brother, because Catholics are not allowed to consent to medical assistance in dying. But I still need your support. My my application for permission to appeal at the Supreme Court of Canada, the decision appointing my 81-year-old nun sister 4,000 kilometers away in Ontario as my brother's guardian. And I'm just waiting for their decision on leave to appeal. So please pray for us. Go to your temple, your mosque, your gurdwara, your synagogue, your church, and pray for us. You can pray for us sitting right where you are. I just put a little slip of paper. There's a prayer box at my church, and I put a little slip of paper in there, in the prayer box, that just said Paul and SCC. So we'll see how that goes. So pray for us, contribute to our GoFundMe account. It just takes a second. All you have to do is click on the GoFundMe link in the description box for this video and copy and paste the email, the draft email that I'll put in the description box for this video, and send it from your email address immediately. You have no idea how powerful the emails. There's an election coming up in British Columbia, and this should be British Columbia has the highest rate of doctors killing patients in medical assistance and dying in Canada. So we want to put some guardrails on that practice. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful week.